Alright guys, so I firmly believe that you have watched my last video about double kettlebell handling in rack position so that you're good to go to learn double bell kettlebell jerk. Okay? Now, the good thing is, because we are going in a sequence where I've taught you single bell jerk first, and if you have watched that video, learning this video is not going to be very hard because the only difference here is the load goes double, which means instead of one kettlebell, you are holding two kettlebells. So, just a quick recap: when you're doing double kettlebell jerk, everything remains same in terms of trajectory of the kettlebell and how the body moves. So, quick recap: we go down in first knee dip. Okay. First knee dip, then we go to an extension, and all these things happen one after the other subsequently, so they are not separate, don't stagger them. So step number one, first knee dip. Step number two, we are going extension, up, look at my knees, they're fully extended in this position. Step number three is the second knee dip, so 1, 2, 3. And then step number four is when I extend my knees 100%. Step number five is when I catch both bells, absorbing the shock with my knees. And step number six, before I get into this next rep, I lock my knees and then I go. Alright. It's very, very simple. We're going to perform now this with two kettlebells. So from double bell rack, you're going into first knee dip, then you go into extension, then you go into fully lockout position, second knee dip, then you stand, step number 4, full extension, step number 5 is catching the bells back, then knees, step number 6, lock your knees. Okay? So, this was a slightly slower version. I'm going to do it one more time for you and then we'll perform 8 to 10 reps of both belts going up and coming down. Before I get into it, there is one more alternative method for step number 5. So in step number 5, what I'm teaching is when you catch the belt back, you go bending the knees, and then in step number 6, you lock your knees. There's an alternative. So what you can do is when you're up here, when you're catching the belts back, instead of bending your knees and catch them, which is this, you do this. Alright, so I'll show it again. It's a little bit of calf raise while belts are traveling downwards. Look. Okay, and the knees are already locked. So here, there is no step number 6. Because after step number 5, when you catch the belt back and then you lock into step number 6, here in step number 5 itself, your knees are locked when you got the belts back. Okay? So that's one alternative if that suits you. But now, one more time, breaking down steps into 6 parts and then 8 to 10 reps of double kettlebell jerk. Okay? Rack position. First knee dip, step number 1. Knee extension while hands going up, that's step number 2. Step number 2. Step number 3 is going to be second knee dip with my elbows fully extended. Okay? Show it one more time. Step number 3. Step number 4, you just have to extend your knees 100%. I'll show step number 4 one more time. Standing. Step number 5, catch the belts back with knees bent. And step number 6, lock your knees. One more time. Catch the belts back with knees bent. That's step number 5. Step number 6, lock your knees. And the alternative that I've given you is this one. So the step number 5 is the end of the rep. Look, so knee are not bent. Jerk. Okay, so the knees are already locked. So I do not have to lock the knees. Right. So this was in slower version for your understanding, but this needs to be performed back to back with good quality, good fixation, elbows resting on the belly, close, and all that you have learned in previous videos. There we go. Elbows always lock before you lock your knees. Not after and not at the same time. Alright, there's one more thing that you should pay attention to before you start practicing this is make sure that you don't catch your fingers between the handles of two belts, because if that happens, then you're at a risk of injury or maybe losing a nail or two, or maybe more than that. So what I'm trying to say is clean, have none of your fingers from left or right hand, your left, your right, in between the kettlebell handles. Yeah? Keep your fingers relaxed, okay? Either on top of each other or this way. Thanks for your time. Have a good day.